With possibly the lowest entry price for a new launch next to an MRT in the foreseeable future, will this be a good own stay or investment property? This is my unbiased review of Norwood Grand by CDL. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is William from Own This Property, and we are now in the fourth quarter of 2024, and there are so many exciting launches that we have to cover. In this video, I'll be deep diving into Norwood Grand, and by the end of the video, you have a clear understanding and strategy on whether this should be the property for you. If you like what you see, do reach out to me on WhatsApp and I'll be happy to share more with you at the show flat. This is going to be previewing on the 4th October 2024. And if you feel that Norwood Grand is not the development for you, not to worry, as I've compiled and ranked a list of alternatives in my ultimate guide to new launches 2024. Just fill up the Google form link in the description below and I'll be happy to share it with you. Now back to the video. Norwood Grand comprises 348 units spread across 4 blocks, and because it's so near to the MRT, it's normal that they only provide 80% car park lots. I would consider it a decent sized development with full facilities including a tennis court. For units that are facing north, you will be overlooking Innova Primary School, which is only 4 stories high, and a small corner of the units facing south can also get some good views overlooking Singapore Sports School. Being in a highly dense area, views are going to be rare, so I would prefer such units that have at least a good distance to the next high-rise building, making the entire feel of the home less claustrophobic. In terms of unit mix, this is something that we've come to expect from developers today, with Woodlands being in the OCR, having more larger own stay units than small investment units is vital for the long-term appreciation. As of this recording, the developers have also announced the starting from price, and this is definitely one of the most attractive price points, especially so when the PSF should be higher because this is a URA harmonization project. On to the downside factors, and most notably, Norwood Grand will be the closest condo to Woodlands South MRT. It takes just under 5 minutes to walk from the side gate to the MRT entrance, and this is the key unique selling point that no other condos in the area will have. In terms of primary schools, there are also 5 to choose from, although they might not be your traditionally popular schools. Next, let's move on to the upside case for Norwood Grand. And Woodlands sometimes can be seen as maybe unhappening or lackluster, but things are certainly going to change because the government has big plans to change it to a star destination of the north. Woodlands Regional Centre will be the hub between different economic zones and districts in the area. Woodlands North Coast will have future business parks, industrial, commercial, and housing properties. Likewise, for Woodlands Central, there will also be future housing, commercial, and a mixed-use development. I believe that entering Norwood Grand gives you a real first-mover advantage in the Woodlands area because all the other mixed-use or residential developments will be more expensive in the future. With that, here's a summary of the pros and cons of the qualitative factors of Norwood Grand. Honestly, I really couldn't think of any cons for the development as it ticks many of the boxes we want for good own stay or investment property. Maybe there are some cons if you're looking at it from an own stay perspective. Maybe it's in a very dense area, there aren't any nice views. So if you can think of any other cons for Norwood Grand, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what they are from you. Let's now move on to the more interesting bit, quantitative analysis, where we'll look at the price, the profitability, the rentability, and the supply analysis in the area. Norwood Grand starting from price for the 1+ study at $998,000 and the PSF at around $1,900 per square feet has certainly piqued my interest in this development again. Based on their break-even price of $1,687 per square feet and factoring in the URA harmonization effect of about 7 to 8%, this means that the developer's profit margin is only around 10+%, which is considered low. Comparing Norwood Grand with all the other OCR new launches in this year, you can immediately see that at an average of about $2,000 per square feet, it will be the lowest PSF entry price development this year, even after factoring in URA harmonization. If we actually adjust for the URA harmonization, the PSF is actually even lower at around $1,850 per square feet. Being in the OCR, it is also important that we tick the boxes of having MRT, primary schools, and a ready demand from HDB upgraders for exit strategy. And the good news is that Norwood Grand really does tick all the boxes. There is not another product in the market right now that satisfies this checklist as well as Norwood Grand, and with the very low entry price to boot. Hence, in the new launch segment, Norwood Grand does get full marks for its pricing and development attributes. But as always, one of the most important checks that I do before recommending a new launch is to look at our other resale developments in the area. So I'll be focusing on 8 other properties around Woodlands South and see how they have performed over the years. Norwood Grand will be the first condo there in 11 years, and also the closest to the MRT, with all the other comparables having to take at least 2 bus stops to reach the MRT. So this immediately is a competitive advantage when it comes to your exit strategy in the future. One key concern is that $2,000 per square feet is still the most expensive PSF you'll see in Woodlands, so is it really considered overpriced? Applying my standard price gap analysis to determine how much a premium you are paying per year for the newer Norwood Grand, we arrive at an average of $47 per square foot premium per year, which is not too bad. Some notable wider price gaps happen when we compare Norwood Grand with Bellwoods, Twin Fountains, and Forestville, but that's because these are ECs and happen to have a lower PSF to begin with. And not forgetting that URA harmonization also artificially increases the PSF, so if we adjust Norwood Grand's PSF, assuming it sells at about $1,850 per square feet, we arrive at a much lower price gap to the resale nearby of $38 per square foot premium per year, which is very good in my opinion. Hence, I think that Norwood Grand at $2,000 per square feet is good value for its newer lease, normal condo status, and closest proximity to the MRT. The next important check we'll do is whether Woodlands properties are performing well. And to my pleasant surprise, Woodlands actually is not inferior to other places such as Punggol or Tampines. Over the past 5 years, rental yields average at 3.79%, which is good. There were a total of 975 profitable transactions and 91 unprofitable transactions. In other words, 91.5% of transactions have been profitable over the past 5 years. And the average annualized return is also good at 3.99%. While I think that this number is slightly elevated due to the 3 ECs contributing higher annualized returns, the other normal condos have still performed very well. Hence, I think that this data has given me added confidence that Norwood Grand is in an area that has strong demand for rental and potential appreciation in the future. And the final analysis that I'll be doing that is correlated to profitability is the supply analysis. Generally, an area that has a lot of supply performs badly, while an area that has low supply performs well. And tying in who are the main buyers in the resale market in the future, we will be focusing on the 3 bedrooms, which will be a natural choice for all the Woodlands HDB upgraders. In this analysis, I went to calculate the exact number of all the 3 bedroom units in a particular development, as well as find out how many of these units are actually currently in the market for sale. So this derives a supply ratio whereby a lower supply ratio is better for profitability. Excluding Norwood Grand, the area has a total of 2,241 3 bedrooms. As of recording this video, there were only 35 units on sale across 8 resale developments, which results in a very low supply ratio of 1.56%. This low supply ratio gives me added confidence that you have an ease of exit for a 3 bedroom in Norwood Grand to the HDB upgraders from several new clusters of BTOs around you. Now, if you're looking for a 2 bedroom or 4 bedroom at Norwood Grand, I've also done the supply analysis for these unit types. So if you'd like a copy of my research, do reach out to me on WhatsApp and I'll be happy to share it with you. Finally, let's take a look at the layouts for Norwood Grand, and in the interest of time, I'll only be looking at the 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. Norwood Grand's 2 bedroom 2 bath has a dumbbell layout, and at the quantum of about $1.25 million is probably one of the cheapest new launch 2 bed 2 bath you can find next to an MRT in the foreseeable future. At first I was worried because of the higher PSF, the quantum gap to the older resale might be too wide. But again, to my pleasant surprise, the resale comparables which are over 11 years older are not significantly cheaper. Hence, I think that the 2-bed 2-bath at Norwood Grand is safe at around $1.25 million. There are also the 2-bedroom plus study layouts, but they lose their dumbbell layout and the kitchen is also more open concept. So I'm not a big fan of this layout. Next, the smallest 3-bedroom starts from 872 square feet and it ticks all the key boxes we want. Enclosed kitchen with windows for wok-hei, full-size bedrooms, and efficient use of space. If you look at Bellwoods, I like that it has a utility room, but on the downside, bedroom 3 is very small. In addition, the master bedroom also has a balcony. And for Forest View, I like that you have the storage space, but the larger balcony that stretches across the living room and the bedroom means a lot of the space has gone to the balcony, resulting in the common bedrooms only being able to fit a super single bed at best. Norwood Grand also has the larger 3-bedroom premium layouts that come with a full-fledged study space. I do think that the left layout at 904 square feet is very efficient because of its dumbbell configuration, but you sacrifice a kitchen that has no natural ventilation for wok-hei, so this unit might be more suitable for people who don't really cook or purely for investors. The layout on the right at 1044 square feet is the most ideal. It actually reminds me of a 5-room HDB with the study placed behind the living room. Very little to complain about here as you have good kitchen spaces and a space for storage or a helper. Looking at the resale comparables, I think that there are hits and misses. Forest View's larger 3-bedroom are only in the dual key configuration, which are usually more difficult to sell in the future. Twin Fountains probably is my favorite of the three in terms of its use of space. Even though on paper it is 1098 square feet, the livable space is actually smaller than Norwood Grand's 1044 square feet layout, and this is due to the URA harmonization. At Twin Fountains, you do not get a dry wet kitchen layout, and there's no study area, and the living dining area is also more compact. Lastly, Bellwoods has the same 1098 square feet size for the 3-bedroom premium, but again it does not have that dry wet kitchen nor a study. And there is also some wasted space with a balcony in the master bedroom. Choosing the right layout is very important, if not more important than choosing the right development. So if you'd like to have a one-on-one consultation with me about stack analysis, layout analysis, and floor analysis, do reach out to me on WhatsApp and I'll be happy to share more with you. To put everything together, who should be buying Norwood Grand? I think that when it comes to ownstay, it's really a case of personal preference. Being someone who has lived along the Northeast line for the majority of my life, Woodlands has never been a place I considered living in. But with so many exciting new developments happening in the north, especially at Woodlands, I'm confident that all the people who are living in the north will gravitate towards this area. And as a development, Norwood Grand has more pros than cons for ownstay. Putting emotions aside, if you are an investor, you should be agnostic about location and analyze the development objectively. I do think that this is a good investment property as it ticks all the boxes you want, such as having an MRT, schools, transformation, HDB upgraders, historically strong resale performance, and a very low supply ratio. This is coupled with the fact that this is going to be one of the lowest entry price possible for a new launch in 2024. And with that, thank you for staying to the end of the video. By the time you're watching this, Norwood Grand would have already started its preview. If you think I can value add to your property journey and you would like to explore working with me, do reach out to me on WhatsApp to arrange a show flat viewing. And if you think that Norwood Grand is just not the condo for you, not to worry as I've compiled and ranked all the launches in 2024 in my ultimate guide to new launches. So if you'd like a copy to understand what are the alternatives out there for you, just fill up the Google form in the link below and I'll be sending it to you shortly. My next few videos will cover some of my top picks for new launches in 2024. So please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified once those videos are out. Thank you once again and I'll see you in the next video.